Welcome back to rTech. In today's review, I cover Tata Nexon's exterior lights and bulbs. I had previously done a detailed LED bulb review on the Nexon in my previous video, and I'll leave a link above. You can have a look. So I did use the ZDAT LED bulbs. So the Tata Nexon is a relatively new car, yet they did not offer any LED headlights as standard. So the dual barrel headlights hold H7 bulbs. So here are some of the options you can have to replace them if you want the LEDs. What's more important before you install the LED bulbs are the dust covers. Now take careful note of the measurements before you order these. These covers, are very important to have in hand before you do the LED bulb upgrade, or else you're going to have dust inside those bulb units. So here are some of the measurements you can keep in mind. So the inner diameters are very important before you order the dust covers. The standard cover is actually flat, and remember, in case you want to cut them to fit these bulbs, some of them do that, you will not get a spare easily in the service center. I've checked and they said they don't have spares for those covers. So you'll have to order these separately. Here's a set of ZDAT bulbs, which I actually tested on the high beams, which I'm now going to test in the Projector unit. Now remember, before you do anything, just make sure that you disconnect one end of the battery so that there's no short circuiting or there's nothing else which happens in case something goes wrong. So make sure the battery is disconnected. My previous video was with the bulbs in the high beam unit, as I told you. So the bulb has a detachable clip unit. So it also has some washers, silicone washers. So you just pull out this clip which separates out, and then all you need to do is get the clip installed first, and then just push the bulb back inside. I'll just show you how to do that. There you go. So once you remove the H7 halogen bulb, you make sure that you remove the clip and then put this back on. Now you can see that I haven't done this right because I just cannot see them. So just make sure that you kind of feel the alignment right and then put the clip back on. So this is another way you fix it. It should actually go on well the other way around. So now it's actually right. And all you got to do now is just put the bulb back in and then put in the plugs. Now some of you might ask me about a relay. I didn't use one because this bulb just consumes about 30 watts max. So it doesn't really need a relay, right? And you can see that there's a projection out. That's where the dust covers come into picture. So once you do all that, this bulb which I used previously was a ZDAT bulb. It wasn't really bright in this projector unit. I was very disappointed with the brightness. In fact, I did a test drive. Although it looks bright and white, which is good, but performance wise, I wasn't really happy, and I was really disappointed by the brightness. I'll just show you a little bit of section on how it looks on the wall. So these were about 10,000 lumen. That's 5,000 plus 5,000. There you go. That's the light on the wall. It looks bright, but it did not manage to light up the road. So I had to take them off. Okay, now let's move to the tail lamp section. So remember, the tail lamps have DRLs too, and the brake light bulbs are sadly again normal bulbs. So I was really, again, I don't know why Tata does this, but they could have just made the whole unit LED, right? So when you look at the brake lamps that come on when you push the brake pedal, it's actually a normal bulb. Let's have a closer look. So that is the brake lamp, and that's a normal bulb there. One good thing is that the number plate lights are actually, LED. So we'll cover that some other time. So let's figure out how to actually open up this tail lamp section. So when you open the rear boot, you'll see that it's actually got a covered unit at the back. You'll have to actually remove these protective covers. And for that, you just need a small screwdriver. And once you use a little bit of leverage, this cap should open up. There are two of them. There you go. There's a bolt which is hidden behind that. The covers will pop open. Two of them. And you will need a size 10 spanner. So all you need to do is just give it a little bit of thrust, and once the bolt loosens up, you can just pull it out with your hand. And it's that easy. So once you take off those bolts, the whole tail lamp unit actually shakes vigorously. You have to just give it a little bit of push and then it'll come out. So let's take a look at the bulbs which it has. Okay, so that is the DRL section at the bottom. Then you have the reverse lights. I think that is the brake light. Yeah, the one at the bottom is the brake light. The biggest ones here are actually the turn indicators, and that's the 21 watt bulb. DRLs are difficult to replace in this. I think if something happens to this, you'll have to just change the tail lamp section, so just be careful with these. And just to tell you what kind of brake light bulbs these are, here's an explanation. So this is the W16W version of the bulb. It's totally different from what other cars used in the past. We used to have T67s in the past, which had two filaments and stuff, but this is just called W16W. And the LED version of this bulb also looks very, very different. And this is how they look. Okay, now let's move on to the reverse light. Now some cars have the R10 version of it. Now this is a 10 watt bulb. Again, you get LED versions which you want to replace. If some of them want to do that, you also get bulbs for this. It's called the R10W bulb. It's just a single filament bulb. And there's some Nexons which also have the P21W. I don't know how, but I saw that in the manual. So I just left a link to show you how this one looks. So this one looks a little bigger. This is a 21 watt bulb. And also the turn indicators. So this is the PY21W. And again, you get LED versions for these as well, which is really cool. So here's the full list of bulbs you need in case you want to replace them. You will see that most of them are actually not LEDs, to be honest. And I would really recommend to change the brake lamps and probably the reverse light to LEDs. I think the indicators should be fine, but if you really want some good stopping lights which are brighter and faster, you could go for an LED replacement. So just make sure that you put these back as it was and then fix it back on. I shall do a review on how the LED bulbs look in the same tail lamp soon. Okay, going back to the interiors of the cabin, I know the Nexon's got a very, very dark cabin. That's because of the black seats, small windows, and generally the car is a little dark to look at, right? It's probably because of the materials they used inside, and even the carpets are black. So I thought, why not add some lights at the back? And there's no rear roof lamp. But the best part is it's very simple to get one fixed. So all you need is a small LED unit, which I happen to have, and you can get this on Amazon. I'll leave links below when I find them. So I've added a small LED lamp there. I temporarily just had this stuck on the roof. And I'll just show you how it works. It's a small 3-piece LED. Looks dull in the morning, but let me just show you. I'm just opening the door and the lights come up. Don't judge the light based on what you're seeing right now, because the camera is not able to adjust the amount of light coming in. It's a little confused, but it's bright enough for you to do your daily tasks on the back seat. So if you want to pick up something, this is going to be really, really helpful. I'll show you how it looks in the night as well, but this really helped. Okay, that's the amount of light you get. Sorry, I couldn't show you a better way of how this looks in the morning, but it works pretty well. Okay, now the scuff plates and the puddle lamps do throw a little bit of light in the front driver's seat unit, but I added an additional light, which is the footwell light. And all I had to do is just add another unit of light, which was actually connected to the puddle lamp wiring. Let me show you how to do all of these quickly. So what I've done for the rear roof lamp is run a wire through the beading. So you need about 1 meter of wire, dual wiring, so that positive and negative can be carried to it. So all you need to do is just connect it to the LED module and then plug the whole unit through a small window into the rear boot light. I'm just trying to show you how I ran the wire, but it's a little difficult because of this Tibetan flag. Okay, so I ran it through the side of the cabin, through the beading, rubber beading, and then there's a small unit here which lights up the boot, and there's an access panel for all the wiring. Use a little bit of lever, like a small screwdriver, pull out that bulb, connect these wires to that, and that's all you have to do. So these lights will light up no matter which door you open. How good is that? Okay, in the front, what I've done is I've just put the light behind the fuse section. So it's just under your footwell. I took a cable tie and I just tied up the bulb and connected that to the scuff plate lights. So again, that works beautifully because all I had to do is just insert those 2 orange wires which you see into the plug. So I didn't have to cut any wires anywhere. So if you're worried about warranty void, it's not going to happen. It's just plugged in. And these lights are so beautiful. They work amazing. If you really need help, you can take this to a local garage and tell him what needs to be done. So all you need to do is just connect this to one of your puddle lamps or your scuff plate lights, and he'll probably have an LED unit and he can fix it for you. You can do the same with the rear. You can ask him to connect the bulbs to the rear boot light, and that'll work as well. So I'll show you how this looks in the complete darkness, and you can judge whether they are bright or not. Here you go, guys. Okay, there's no light absolutely. I'm just going to go and open the door handle. Have a look at the lights in the night. It's again, the camera is not going to pick up a lot of light, but it does have a sufficient amount of light for you to pick up your stuff from a seat or anything else you want to do. So you can leave your comments below. If you have any questions, you can ask me and I will try and answer them as much as I can. Thank you so much for watching. Do hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching rTech. Bye bye.